everyone, welcome to this video. This is going to be a long one because I've got some questions to answer, and I was originally going to do this live, but I changed my mind for energy reasons. Just kind of wanting to detach from the platform at the moment. And before I get into this video, basically, I wanted to share something about this social distancing thing that's going on and my higher perspective on this. And this is just my perspective, my intuitive kind of curiosity and understanding of what is happening from a higher level. So I was taking my daily walk today, and so we have a rule now in Australia where you can only go outside in the public if it's for exercise once a day, and food and medical stuff and necessary things. So, and also whenever you do go out, you have to, they're really like driving it home that you have to stay 1.5 meters away from someone. And so I was on my walk today, and it just suddenly dawned on me, this 1.5 meters, it's really like they're really emphasizing this. And I know it's because from their point of view it's for safety, so we don't spread viruses and things like that, but from a higher perspective, it occurred to me that what this means is people will be only in their own energy field. This makes total sense to me because let's see if I have a picture on my phone. Especially for empaths who have been in destructive friendships and relationships and situations, this will make sense when you see the picture. So hopefully you can see that. No, I'll get a different one. So basically we have an electromagnetic field, which is the torus field, and it's a continual flowing kind of system of energy where if we are feeling blocked or picking up on negativity, I feel that this is about the electromagnetic structures, and what the benefit of social distancing is going to do for people is basically restabilize this electromagnetic toroidal kind of field. Because if that's unstable, it throws off an individual's equilibrium. And this is something that has come into my readings before, but I didn't put the pieces together until today. So let me see if I can find a different photo that you can see. And it makes total sense. You know, distancing, specifically the amount of 1.5 meters is about the distance of this electromagnetic field of an individual. And we all have this, and the Earth has this also, this electromagnetic field. So if you can see here, two people in each other's electromagnetic fields. What if one person is sick? What if one person is, you know, suffering from some trauma, and they're holding a lot of things in their field? So this is something that I'm going to look into over the next few weeks, because I am guided to kind of step back from the channel, but also I'm guided to not stop with my work. So it's like an interesting kind of transition. So I just want to read on this. What is this? Can I have some guidance on this electromagnetic field And this social distancing, what does it mean for the collective? What is the effect of this restabilizing of personal energy fields? So judgment, this is about rebirth. And the Ace of Wands, so this is a rebirth of some kind, to restabilize this personal electromagnetic field. So that's interesting. I'm going to bring in crystal mandala. I know I'm onto something, but sometimes it's just like I tell myself, okay, that's an interesting intuitive observation. What does that mean? And then I just have to let it kind of evolve and grow into something. And so this is the difference between curiosity and uncertainty. And that comes into a couple of questions here. That when we have a vibration going on that is all about being curious, and curiosity leads to inspiration, that is a much higher vibration than uncertainty and doubt. So shifting from uncertainty to curiosity is an instant vibrational shift. Sacred revolution with goddess Kali and black obsidian. So goddess Kali, it's an energy that is kind of intense and it's very noticeable. It's not subtle. So what's going on right now is an intense shift into something. It's not a subtle, like tapping on the shoulder kind of energy. This is like implementing something that has a drastic impact straight away. And this message with this card is about revolution, and it's about the overthrowing of an existing hierarchy of control to replace it with a new one. And I feel like what it's saying, in order to do that, we need to come back to ourselves, to look at what is ours, what is our truth, what is our higher awareness and understanding of ourselves. And the only way that a person can do that is to spend time in hermit mode. Ask anyone who has a lot of this kind of introverted tendencies, which I think a lot of people have on this channel, especially if you're empathic. You have to kind of take time for yourself to kind of get away from the intense energy or the toxic energy of other people around you. And sometimes we've been in situations where we've lived with people who have a toxicity about them, which is like unresolved traumas, and something that's kind of like a negative force of not taking responsibility and taking on challenges individually. And so they kind of get their inspiration or their comfort or their whatever else from the empath or someone else who is trying to maintain some equilibrium within their field. And so this is kind of the definition of energy vampirism. And most of the time people don't know that they're taking from another person in this way. They're kind of draining them. So we will see what exactly is draining us, and things will start to feel more imbalanced. So this is about the individual coming into a balance. And this sort of internal revolution, a sacred revolution of going within, is really going to have a massive effect on the world. A lot of people who will embrace this process. So it says, revolution without a sacred component to it won't necessarily result in transformation or healing. So this goes in line with the theory that those people who are going to go into or are in self-isolation and they don't have a shift in perspective of why, from a higher perspective, and they're feeding into conspiracy theories and trying to feed their brain with things so they don't get bored, they can't handle being alone, all of that stuff. And I'm not saying that, all conspiracy theories are bullshit. I'm not actually interested in looking into that, but it's more about embracing the self-isolation in a way that will revolutionize your individuality. So there's two different pathways of being isolated. You can continue to grab outside of your field and bring toxic things into it, or you can completely revolutionize your world by going within in this kind of way of balancing things in order to basically rebirth with a really kind of new, fresh, energized, self-loving frequency. And it says, in our inner world, the hysteria and panic might relate to letting go of a relationship we believe is our life raft, when in truth, if we keep holding on to it, it's going to pull us over the edge of a cliff down a life-ending waterfall. So that's an interesting that's interesting imagery. As sad as it is, there is going to be a lot of people who fall down into this waterfall of hysteria and self-doubt. But it's saying to basically embrace what's going on a deeper level. Because it's saying perhaps it's a way of relating to power based in fear rather than loving empowerment. No matter how hard we try, we just can't seem to give up our attachment to feeling in control, which is, we see that with people who are really uncomfortable with going without things, even on a really small scale, like products. I don't want to go without that. I've been eating that particular thing or that particular product for a long time. I eat it every day. If I can't have that, my whole emotional system's going to crash. This is actually true for a lot of people. So it's about being innovative, trying new things to nourish your body, trying different products, because not everything is going to be available to you that it was before. And it's sort of like what's going on is kind of breaking down that kind of patterns that people have, and having to rely on themselves more, having to think more about the little things in life and what they actually mean. Are they negative? Are they positive? What effect does it have on me? It's interesting because this card is talking about like a life raft being ripped out of your hands, causing you to splutter temporarily until you stand up and realize you can just walk safely out of the rampaging river. So there's like this disillusionment that people think that everything's falling apart, when in reality it's all about self-empowerment and self-love and restabilizing this electromagnetic field that other people have been either draining you of your energy, or products or foods or whatever. You'll be able to see what's draining your energy. And I really feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg, this message. I think it goes a lot deeper. It says it might feel as if your hand is forced, or even if you are choosing to go with the process, that it is wild and out of your control. It will be, but that doesn't make it unloving or unsafe. When revolution is sacred, it is divine love realigning your life. And although there will probably be chaos, you can be sure that the new order eventually imposed will be worth it. I'm going to bring in some crystals to go into this a little bit more. One thing that's like has been like shouting out at me almost is that people will need to study things that are not the mainstream, go deeper into subjects that and follow their curiosity and learn about things that are in the realm of esoteric knowledge and wisdom or ancient wisdom, and things that are kind of like outside the box of the mainstream. And in particular, the process of alchemy and personal alchemy, and astrology and the planets, because I feel like, you know, when they say the universe is inside you, this is basically because everybody has a blueprint and the planets are in particular places within your blueprint, that this is what it means when the universe is inside you, and you can learn about that, take on the challenges where there are challenges, and embrace the blessings where there are blessings. It's just a blueprint where it means that it's potential. What is the potential? Because this is what the rebirth is looking at the potential of the individual. And we have to go back to that individual kind of stabilization first in order to rebirth into our potential. So it is about studying things that normally people would basically not talk about. And also, I think that the era that we've just stepped into is from my point of view and what I understand intuitively, and the feeling I get is that this this era that we've just stepped into for the next few years, it's like the more people who shift their perspective from old, outdated systems, especially religions, that were based on control of the people and control of the individual. It's interesting that we are now not able to congregate and not able to, lack of a better word, mix our energy with other people too much. I think that this is going to do huge wonders for individuals, and lots of self-discovery, and lots of curiosity to learn about things of the occult areas, esoteric areas, and things that were maybe more mainstream thousands of years ago. So we have smoky quartz, celestial, and black tourmaline. So smoky quartz celestial is transmutational magic, and the divination is: be patient, much stirs beneath a calm surface, total transformation is close. It may entail a trip into the underworld. Your shadow becomes your brightest gift. Toxic emotions turn to positive regard. Ground your efforts in the everyday, but retain contact with higher realms. Success comes through dedication and trust in your abilities. Mentors are available. Release yourself from old enchantments. So there is a separation of, and that's why this is interesting, because I kept getting this feeling like there is a divide between like this Knight of Wands energy and Knight of Pentacles energy. And this was from a reading that I didn't upload because I didn't feel it was that necessary. But basically it said that the divide and this new shift, which is a massive shift, is about the separation between those who are operating in survival instinct and this me, I want this and I need to have it now, and I'm going to take care of myself first, as opposed to the Knight of Pentacles, which is more patient and slow moving and thoughtful and considerate and prepares for things and thinks things out before they actually take action, which I thought was interesting. So this split in the collective. And just, while I'm on the subject of the collective, several years ago when I first realized that I could tap into the collective, and I feel that everybody has the ability to do that, but the more you have been on the journey of being alone, and I spent many years like as a hermit, where I would just had a few friends, and I was in a relationship, and of course my family was around me, but I was never like the type of person that liked being around a lot of people. And so I spent a lot of time just by myself. And I would have so many different thoughts and ideas, and it really cultivated my intuition by doing that and having like a stable energy field. But at the time I wasn't aware that was what I was doing. And so when I first realized that I could tap into the collective consciousness of the world, and also universal collective, when I realized was when I signed up for Twitter. And it's funny because someone had a comment on the community page about Twitter and how they moved away from it because of this reason. But when I signed up for it many years ago, when I think around about the time it first came out, it was like I was sucked into like this void of darkness and negativity, and it scared the fuck out of me. Like, I didn't understand why I felt that way just by tuning into Twitter. And if you think about it, Twitter is like everybody's thoughts and all of this mental energy, and also a lot of famous people use it. And I just felt like this toxicity about it, and it scared me. And I didn't know that I was kind of tapping into the collective of people that were on there and using it. And so I just got rid of it, never went back there. I think a couple of years ago I attempted to, but wasn't that interested. So what I'm saying is that these feelings, when we are around a lot of people as empaths, and we feel like some kind of toxicity or negativity, it's basically because that is coming into our energy field. So before I move into the questions, I'm going to bring in some advice. And if anyone knows why I've been having an urge to buy a copper jug to drink water out of, anyone who has some wisdom on that. I know that it relates to Venus, and but I don't understand what copper does to water. I could look it up. So basically, there's a call to action to understand the hidden wisdom of the universe, things that are not normally spoken about. Queen of Wands. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you maintain a balance between work and home. This is about loyalty. So the Queen of Wands, she is basically she's the archetype of the one who has some kind of magical wisdom, and she does things. The actions that she does is when she uses her higher consciousness, she creates she creates a beautiful balance of things, and she's also about inspiration. And like I said, instead of running away from things with the Seven of Swords, it's like turning uncertainty and doubt and avoidance into curiosity, and going down avenues and pathways where you can actually do different things with different foods, different things in the natural world where that you wouldn't normally do, and follow your curiosity. Four of Pentacles. This is about managing your resources wisely. And ego, the illusion of being trapped. So we're not trapped. This is a very kind of interesting shift to basically learn some hidden wisdom of the universe. And it's also about don't place too much importance on material items, things that you can't have access to. Find other things to replace it, getting caught up in fear and worry. So I think that a lot of people will just instinctually just get caught in the illusion of being trapped and restricted rather than seeing it as a blessing. So I'm going to move into the question. So the first question is, I feel stuck and lost in many ways, and things are not feeling like they are flowing. How can I make some changes? Feels sometimes it's about timing. What is the guidance for this question of feeling stuck and lost, and that there's a blockage in the flow of things? How to make some changes? And is it just about timing? Princess of Pentacles. So something new is growing. And it's also, there's a message here about balance, because it shows the yin yang, and you have the Nine of Wands, which is direction. So it's saying that the balance may be off in your life for some reason, and to focus on direction. Timing does have a thing to play in it here, because you have the Wheel of Fortune. Nine of Wands is also like, you have a lot of skills and a lot of wisdom and things you've experienced, and it's like, if you can come into, use your skills in some way to make small steps, and try to maintain a balance, bring things into balance, this will give you some direction, because there is something about timing, and it's the right time for a whole new direction. Smoky Quartz Celestial. So we had this with the general reading that I just did, and this is transmutational magic. And rhodosites. Also going to bring in a crystal mandala. Crossroad. Sensitivity. So there's something going on within the realm of your emotions, and I feel that may be creating a block for you. Let's see what the rhodosite says. This is about power. It says, check out the harmony or lack of it in your environment. Earth energies may be disrupting your well-being. The ground around your workplace and your home may need healing and stabilizing by planting suitable crystals in the earth. So the message of divination here for you is because you've got the Princess of Pentacles. This is about planting something. You may have already planted seeds in your life. In fact, I'm sure you have, because a lot of us have these seeds that have already been planted, and now is the time to basically let it grow. And it's symbolic. So you've got to go through a process of transmutation on an emotional level because you're at a crossroads. The healing insight is living in a healthy, stable environment creates a stable physical body. And wow, so we have rhodochrosite and rhodochrosite. So definitely like a strong message here. It's about taking control over your environment. This means your physical body and your actual environment, because doing that is going to give you inspiration into new direction, because it's going to bring in new energy, stabilize your energy, and you'll really see that you're at a crossroads. And I feel like you don't see exactly what your options are at the moment because of these blockages that you're talking about. So there's transmutation involved. And this is it's transmutation on a physical level. So go on some kind of detox, or detox your environment. Take a step back from things that you might have been involved in that have been a burden to you. What is the advice here? Straight away the Chariot came out. This is all about a new direction, a new kind of... You're being asked to celebrate your accomplishments. What have you accomplished? What have you been able to basically... What have you been dedicated to in the past where you may have not celebrated it enough? The advice is to celebrate something, and also it's about going in a new direction. So first you have to look at the energy, and I feel like it's saying you're sensitive enough to be able to perceive subtle energy. And so yes, there's a timing thing, but the timing is about you're at a crossroads and you are right on the verge of a new direction of something. So I hope that brings some kind of comfort and assistance to you and answers that question. So I'm going to move on to another question. And this is... uncertainties, delays, and feeling stuck in general in all aspects. So a similar question, one step forward, two steps back kind of pattern, feeling drained, haven't been able to tap into intuition for a couple of months. So let's see what your personal message is. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and the Tower. So there is something that you are... I don't know whether you are, an air sign, but it's either asking you to embody this kind of archetypal energy of the Queen of Swords, which she's all about the truth and getting to the core of something and removing excess, unnecessary toxicity, because something's unstable in your life. And there's an opportunity here to address it I feel like you're so busy concentrating on what works, what doesn't work, and all in the realm of like the mind, that you might be either overburdened by that, or because while you're focused on that, something else is happening that I think that you're unaware of at the moment, and this is about balance being restored back into your life. You have the Shiva Lingam, which is about everything up until this point for you. It's shaped you, and just as the Shiva Lingam symbolically, it's shaped by tumbling waters. All of these things that you have experienced in your life that have shaped you to who you are, and knowing what your truth is and what you desire. You are being asked to let go of the things that don't contribute to a sense of restoration and balance within your masculine and feminine energy. This is also about partnerships as well, and sacred kind of sexuality. And the divination is get back to basics and put passion back into your life. Honor your libido and creative fire. So I was feeling like you are so busy concentrating on what works, what doesn't work, which is good, and you're cutting out things, you're getting to the truth of things, and you're seeing an opportunity you're seeing opportunities and you make progress. But what it's saying is that you're leaving out your creativity or your sacred sexuality, and you're being asked to honor it. This is also about new relationships or revitalizing an old one. And if that's the case, this is about practicing sexual magic. In other words, life force. So, like, we know that the whole world, basically, the majority of the world, it's like this survival instinct of needs being met and selfish kind of sexuality. But I feel like there's something, it's either about sexuality or create. And it's either the sexuality or the creativity, which might sound strange, but that's what it's saying. And I can kind of understand that, because both of these areas, this creative fire basically transcends you into a new level of consciousness. So just remember to honor that side of things. What's the advice? The Ten of Wands. So I think there's too much going on in your mind, in the realm of you're being diligent and you're making progress, but it's saying all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. King of Wands. So I think that you might have a partner here, or if you don't, you'll be meeting someone who is someone who you can experience this kind of sacred sexuality with. And the Ten of Swords, a resolution to difficulties, the end of addiction or codependency. So if it's already like if it's a new partner, this is going to be about sacred sexuality, honoring each other's kind of something just occurred to me. If you have a partner and you're for some reason unable to experience this with each other physically, there's some kind of codependent energy that needs to come to an end. Shifting things are shifting for you, and it's all for the purpose of balance of masculine and feminine energy. It's also like ending patterns. Ten of Swords, and you said one step forward, two steps back. kind of pattern, that's going to come to an end with you getting more creative. So I just want to bring in a crystal grid for you to see how this could be brought into your life, this creative fire. Boundaries. So this is calcite fairy stone, and it almost looks like some kind of magical clock, because it has like a pendulum there, and it kind of looks like a clock. It's asking you to look at the walls you have built up around yourself that now need to come down. So you do have the tower, and maybe indicating you need to set some boundaries for yourself or others. A time of new beginnings awaits you. So I feel like the clock is kind of ticking for you to have this new beginning. It's almost time, is what it says. A time of new beginnings. So this stone has a very strong connection to the earth and will act as an anchor when meditating or journeying. Perfect stone to journey within and take a good look at what no longer serves you. Find your inner strength, set some boundaries, knock down a couple of walls and start afresh. Each calcite fairy stone has a unique shape. Many look alike, so each stone has a specific purpose of its own, which is basically us, people. We all have a unique shape, we look different, but we all have our own specific purpose, and I feel that you're about to find out what yours truly is. The stunning green calcite is always a welcome addition to any grid. It brings with it a sense of peace and love, reminding us that when we set our boundaries, they must come from a place of love for ourselves and others. Don't be unrealistic with your boundaries, or you might just be putting up a wall. Always be mindful of your actions and non-actions. So it's saying be mindful of what's going on in your physical world, the actions that you're taking, and let some walls come down, because you're about to have a new opportunity. And I also feel like you need to shift from uncertainty to curiosity, and let this old pattern, release this old pattern of making progress, then falling down again, then making more progress, and bringing in this creative fire into your life, and switching from uncertainty to curiosity and inspiration is going to spark your intuitive abilities again. So that was the reading for you. Hope that helped you. So the next question is, I went through dark toxic last 2 years after toxic narcissistic partner. Met new partner briefly. Will there be a reconnection with the new partner? Divine partnership type that filled you with joy. So what is the guidance for this question of coming out of a toxic partnership, being drawn to a new partnership that fills you with joy? And is there going to be a reconnection? The Art card, which is Temperance, this is Alchemy. This is consciously being aware of your own energy and consciously creating things. Five of Pentacles. Princess of Cups. So I do feel like there is going to be a reconnection in the future, but it's going to take time. There is something about this connection is a slow one, because we have a cup with a turtle in it, and so this connection has multiple different purposes, and that's why you're in it. And I also feel like you've come from a place where you've actually had to consciously look at your own traumas because of relationships you've been in the past, the toxicity that you experienced. And I feel like part of your journey is about looking at this Five of Pentacles. How do you really work? Looking at the inner workings deep down into what actually creates why was that toxic relationship a part of your soul path? What about that journey with that person put you into where you are now at this point, where you have something to look forward to with someone, but it's saying to be more conscious of your energy. And I also feel like you both kind of look at each other, whether that's like you staring at each other's pictures, or you both kind of look to each other for this joyful kind of energy. And it's saying that it's going to take time, because there is a danger of kind of being dependent on that, codependent on that with each other. It has a potential of something really good. What's the advice? Two of Cups. Falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone, forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. So the forgiveness and the resolution, like I said, is about the old. And I think that this is something that you could both, this looks like an alchemical relationship where you are both on a pathway of self-discovery, and there is a possibility of reconnection after a period of time of doing a lot of soul searching and inner understanding and alchemical work. It's saying don't give up on the new partnership as well, because it is something that is worth having at some point. And you have the Princess of Autumn, which is the Page of Pentacles. And so something that, because there's more study that you need to do. You need to look deeper into your how you work and things like that, because we've got Taurus energy and Mercury, and it's like discovering things about your wounds, and it's to do with self-worth. It's to do with you know, discovering how to celebrate your own joy and happiness as an individual, and then you come into a connection. The Four of Wands and the Star. So there's something definitely to look forward to, a new partnership of peace and happiness, contented personal life. Look to the future with hope and optimism. The power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. I want to bring in a crystal about this Five of Pentacles. I feel like you're in a very receptive energy, which is good. The Page of Cups is a very receptive energy. So use that kind of state of being for higher insights and learning things. This is about being studious and responsible and developments in what you can learn about yourself. Garnet. So I think there's some wounding going on, or has been some wounds to do with self-worth, and to be honest with you, I think that a huge part of the empathic pathway is about healing wounds of self-worth. So this is passion, and the divination is: take action now. A mystery is solved. Have courage. There is a way out. Turn a crisis into a learning challenge. If danger approaches, stay calm. You are protected. Be emotionally honest with yourself and others. You may attract a partner for sexual healing. Make no long-term commitment, as it may fizzle out once the purpose is fulfilled. So this is about finding an appropriate outlet for your passions and emotions, and creates well-being. And I feel what I initially got with you was like, you have to create outlets for you to experience joy and happiness outside of this important partnership that you talk of, the divine partnership. Because it does look like that. I feel like you intuitively understand that that is what it is, but it's like, find outlets outside of it. Don't necessarily feel like it's talking about sex, but it could be. If you are, together with this person in the physical, it could be about exploring sexual healing. But I feel like my intuitive feeling about this is finding outlets for happiness and joy outside of this partnership, so that you can allow your soul to grow and evolve, and get to a point where you will be able to dance with this person, so to speak. So that is your answer. Hope that helped. The next question is, what is my purpose? Getting out of a heartbreaking relationship and find it hard to see the messages clearly. Could use a little help. So from what I'm understanding of your question is that you have you've got to develop a stronger sense of intuition, and you can use a number of different things. Like, you can look at your birth chart. There are specific areas you can look in to understand your purpose and your blueprint, and the lessons and the messages of the things that you've experienced. And I don't answer the question, what is my purpose, because I feel that it's up to the individual to come to this discovery. But I can address the question of seeing messages clearly. You find it hard to see the messages clearly. So you have the Knight of Swords. The Universe. And the Five of Wands. So with the Knight of Swords, this is, he has two swords, and there's like a Gemini energy with this Knight of Swords in this deck, and also this massive kind of shift in your life that might be going on. You've got conflicting energy, and this is kind of blocking your intuition. So let's see. I don't know if you are a Gemini, or it's talking about the fact that you have conflicting energy or ideas, or something in your life that doesn't allow for the flow of energy. So let's see with a crystal, Kambaba Jasper. I actually have a video, I think I still have it on the channel, where I was talking to an astrologer by the name of Anastasia. cosmic astrologer, and I think we talked about finding your, one of the questions I think I asked her was about finding your soul purpose. So have a look in my past videos to watch that and see if that sheds any light. But definitely look into your own personal astrology, because that will lead you into some different things. So we have Kambaba Jasper. This is about getting in touch with the ancestors, and understanding the processes of creation helps you to recognize the value of recycling the past to create a more potent future. And looking at what's been passed down in your family line and your ancestral line, and using holistic ways to heal. This is about changing how you view things. You dramatically improve your well-being and reconnecting to ancient wisdom and the roots of being. So I definitely feel like there's a message here of looking at your blueprint. This is also about attuning. So one of the reasons why I feel that your intuition is maybe hard to, like the messages aren't coming clearly, is because of your personal biorhythms, which is that you might be out of sync with the natural cycles of our planet. There's also a need for a deep clearing of your either your physical body or your the wounds need to be healed from your ancestral line or family line. Seven of Pentacles. So this is about having patience and taking the time to rest, and looking at where do you spend most of your energy. What do you put most of your energy into? Because that's where I feel like the conflicting internal conflicts are about, because the moon is about powerful intuitive epiphanies and letting go of fear and worry and understanding the truth of a situation. So it's saying give your mind a rest, because constant searching for answers and seeing messages is basically conflicting with the actual flow of natural things. Like things naturally come to your consciousness when you just kind of release worry. And it's saying just kind of take a step back from trying to find or see messages clearly, because I think that you are trying to understand the truth of your purpose, and it's going to come to you intuitively, but first you have to get with the universe and understand the cycles of the universe, look into the astrology of your chart, and you have the Five of Cups, which is about removing yourself from negative emotions of other people and focusing on removing yourself from focusing on things that worry you, and also the Hermit. So it's time to basically take a break, take a step back from trying to find out what your purpose is, and a commitment to your spiritual growth. So trust that there is a reason for everything that happens, and give yourself some time to basically balance out your energy, because you've got conflicting things going on. I just want to pull in another card, and I'm going to do the crystal mandala. So it shall be. You will find the diamond of information of what your soul purpose is. You will find it. You just have to take a step back and give yourself some time to basically take a break from things that you've been involved with, society, putting your energy into things that actually nourish the soul. Life is a wild game of chance and uncertainty, yet somehow it also proceeds according to a higher plan. Some people find the idea of free will and destiny to be mutually exclusive, yet they are both aspects of the divine expression of life. Destiny is the plan, and free will creates the type of journey you have as you evolve into all you can be. So it's talking about the blueprint and destiny, but also the free will and the journey of exploring your potential. With free will, the way your destiny can be expressed varies enormously. You get to choose how committed you are to discover and fulfill your dreams. The extent of your commitment determines how much energy and effort you will put into what matters to you. So this is where I'm feeling like, what are you investing your energy into? Does it conflict with what you actually want to understand about your journey and your soul purpose? How much commitment are you putting into things that really are benefiting you on a soul level? And is it a priority in your life? This is what it's asking. So I think that if you just kind of reprioritize things in your life so that you, because what you desire to know is what your soul purpose is, and there's, it's saying that you're in alignment, and you're basically at a point right now where it's like things you have the potential here to discover some major truths and see things very clearly if you prioritize your energy and take a break and give yourself some kind of take a rest, because there is it is definitely talking about how do you invest your energy, and if you're wanting to know at the moment what your purpose is, you have to be in alignment with that energetically. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you. I would definitely encourage you to look into astrology for this question. And also, it's about being more aware of the cycles of the universe as well. The question I have is, I feel like I am stuck at a crossroad and I'm unsure of my next step. I don't want to burn a bridge, as there was a bigger purpose. Or was the lesson to develop strength and courage to stick up for myself? What is the guidance on this question? You have the Magician with the Queen of Swords and the Princess of Swords. So is this the head of the person that you would like to burn the bridge with? Because I know that you can see a bigger picture, but I still feel like you might be focused on something that's creating this energy of feeling stuck. And you have this blue lace agate, which is about self-expression. So this, yes, there's a bigger picture in this. It's about your self-expression. We have the Princess of Swords here, which is, she's really kind of wanting to defend herself. And I feel like you are, you have been learning how to do this. But it's like this big lesson in self-expression. So let's see what the blue lace agate says. It's saying that you've had a magician in your life for a reason, whether that's a person or a situation. It's to develop your sense of self-expression. Speak your heartfelt truth with integrity and confidence. Do not fear being judged. Expressing yourself fully releases neck and shoulder tension. So there is something about the situation you've been in. It's because the higher purpose is to enhance the ability to communicate effectively what is on your mind and in your heart. Attune to your inner being to express the fullness of who you are. Be confident when speaking in public, as you have much to share. You may have been silenced in the past. Repressing thoughts and feelings causes throat problems, so speak your mind gently, honestly, and clearly. You have the gift of serenity. Use it wisely. There's a way to basically embrace your sensitive side and balance that with being able to express yourself as well. And this is part of the bigger picture. So yes, the lesson was to develop strength and courage to not just stick up for yourself, but speak your truth. And you have her golden grace, goddess Lakshmi, and dendritic agate. This is about fierce intervention, so you may have had something where it was taken away from you abruptly, but it was for a higher purpose, and could have invoked feelings of wanting to react. But this is all like for a higher purpose of you to be able to express yourself in a way that is not reactive, but in a way that is in alignment with who you are and in the truth within, and expressing this truth. The Chariot. So this is about being dedicated to this pathway of self-expression. So whatever you do in your life that nourishes this journey of expressing yourself, it's saying keep doing that, because celebration is coming. I think that you're going to be on a pathway of either what you have to say, or and you might be in a relationship where you have like a fear of expressing yourself fully because of something that's been repressed, or something that you've experienced where you have wanted to react or defend yourself. It's saying that the higher purpose is to basically dedicate yourself to the evolvement of your self-expression. You have the Two of Swords. So if you have a choice to make with something, it's saying make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. And the Eight of Swords, you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, thinking that you are powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. And the Five of Swords, walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that's not worth the effort. There may have been a situation where you had to walk away from something because it wasn't in your best interest, wasn't worth the effort. And you're on a pathway now of believing in yourself and building your own personal power and your own self-confidence. And there's a choice involved here. And it's also saying be dedicated to this pathway of developing your self-expression. So I think the way that you become unstuck at the moment in this crossroads, which could be the decision that came up, is do what's best for you, because there's something that is there's something to look forward to on this pathway. Let's see. Anemone, anticipation. I felt like an arrow pulled back and ready to be launched into something big. So that's the reason why you're going through this, is because you've got something bigger that you're going to embark on that is going to, had you not gone through some of the things that contributed to you being silenced, or situations that weren't best for you but you went along with them, or whatever the situation was, it's because that's why I felt like there's something coming. This anticipation of something bigger is going on. And yes, you need to develop your strength and courage and stand up for yourself, but it's like doing it in a way that is really going to serve you and your life purpose. And so the crossroads thing is, instead of uncertainty, turn it into something higher vibrational, like curiosity, and explore ways of expressing yourself. And that's the reading for you. Hope that helps you. So the next question I have is, I have been on a journey of awakening since I ran into a man in July of 2017. Both grown and healed separately in the last 2 years. Recently things seem to be progressing between us. Unfortunately, still hot-cold pattern. Closer each time, like a spiral. What is the guidance for this question? Two of Pentacles. And the Nine of Swords. So it's funny because the reason why it's like a spiral is, what I'm getting is that things go in a certain direction, and then, like, it's like a tennis match. When the ball's kind of, so to speak, when it's in your court, you have this kind of energy, these doubts, and then you the energy goes back to his court, and then the same thing happens. So it's like a constant, like, ebb and flow of good feelings and then worry and doubt, and so this is conflicting energy, and so these conflicting energy, this has to be worked out. You are making progress, but I feel like this energy of the Nine of Swords, it's like kind of schizophrenic energy. I'm not saying that you are or he is, but that's what the energy is. It's like one thing it's this, next thing it's that. So how to make a drastic improvement in this conflicting energy? Moldavite. Metamorphosis. Detach yourself from mundane issues. You are going through a spiritual transformation, so dramatic changes occur as you reach beyond your limits. Avoid sowing seeds of destruction. Fertility and good fortune await. You are far more than a physical body. Harmony at all levels creates well-being. Integration of the physical and the spiritual. So this Moldavite, it says, was created when a giant meteorite slammed into Earth some 11 million years ago, fusing the power of the cosmos with that of Mother Earth. It raises your vibrations with inflooding cosmic light so that you feel more at home. You are on a search for the inner grail, awareness of your divine origins. Release ingrained beliefs to make way of spiritual metamorphosis. So both of you have some ingrained beliefs, maybe that you're not aware of, where it's like creates these feelings of doubt, and conflict. So what you're basically doing is some kind of slow metamorphosis, but I feel like there is a way to not torture each other, and because this is talking about something that's kind of like a meteorite. Read the energy. You've got to trust you both have to trust into your intuition more and read each other's energy far better. And something might be happening now that is going to help you to read each other better. This oracle comes to you with a message that your perceptive abilities are a key part of your life purpose and divine life work. Developing, relying upon, or honoring what you sense energetically is helpful for your life journey, as it assists you in making good choices and is helpful for others who can benefit from your ability to see what they may not as yet be able to consciously recognize. When you share your perception from a place of unconditional love, non-judgment, and genuine compassion, your reflections can help others gain awareness and insight, which they can then use to empower themselves, overcome fear, and move more wholly into love. So when this oracle comes to you, it is being suggested that you learn to read between the lines. This means listening for the truth behind the words the others use. It means to look for the truth in actions. It also means to be open to what you feel or sense or somehow just know, even if it doesn't seem to match appearances. When intellectual reasoning and logic is not giving you the certainty you need, you can tap into the instinctive intuition within you and source wisdom instead. This is what you can access when you read the energy. So you can find the truth in the energy and the actions. I'm going to bring in some advice cards for this situation that you're in. The King of Swords. Princess of Wands. And the Nine of Swords again. So there's unfounded fear going on and focusing on worst case scenarios. So it's time to go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizon, and let your creativity take flight. To expand the horizon in this situation between both of you, I feel like there's a need for creative energy and like enthusiasm, because there's the King of Swords is like the archetype of someone who's unemotional and professional. It could be that one or both of you need someone professional to talk to address some unfounded fear. And you have the Five of Cups. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others. So it's saying really try to not focus on anything that's coming from fear or worrying, because I think the two of you find it difficult to read between the lines with each other. And so there's a metamorphosis happening with this connection. And I think that you could benefit from someone who knows about this kind of stuff, communication objectively looking at things, and a bigger, expansive approach on communication. So hopefully that helps you. So I'm going to finish with one last question, and question is, difficulty connecting with meditation, any good videos, feeling that my guides are trying to communicate, could use some help with decision making. And if anyone has any links to some good guided videos, put them in the comments section. I don't really have any off the top of my head. I don't really listen to guided videos. I'm really particular about voices. But I used to listen to someone called Stuart Pearce, and at the time it was really helpful because he talks about like everyone's soul sound. We all have a unique sound of our soul, and he's very interesting. But I don't listen to that anymore, so I don't really have any recommendations. But let's look at your why it's difficult for you to meditate. So we've got justice, which is balance and adjustment. You need to make an adjustment. The universe and the Knight of Swords. So quieting the mind requires you to make an adjustment in your life at the moment, because I feel like you're kind of in a cycle of second guessing your decisions. Let's bring in a crystal. Flint. So this is about strengthening your boundaries, cutting through confusion to the core of the matter. Soul retrieval is necessary if you left any part of yourself in another life or an abusive childhood experience. An unwelcome visitor from the past can be left behind, but recognize lessons before you move on. Pay attention to energetic boundaries and core strength. Cutting detrimental ties and strengthening your connection to the planet maintains well-being. So this is about safely exploring other worlds. And so this, in relation to meditation, it's like it's difficult for you to go into a meditative state or quiet your mind to receive the messages that you feel are trying to come in, because there's some blockages. And Flint connects you to your ancestors, and don't be afraid to explore the hidden side of yourself, the side of yourself that no one sees, because this is where the adjustment needs to take place. This adjustment is something that is blocking the portal of communicating with your guides and meditation and making decisions, because you have some kind of history, someone in your life, or maybe it's karmic history, where you doubt your decisions. So I'm going to bring in some advice. Chariot, the Four of Wands, and the Three of Cups. This is about spending time with people that you cherish and celebrating. And this is about success that comes from, so it's saying that you'll be successful if you dedicate yourself to building a new reality for yourself where you are able to explore higher realms and connect with guides through this safety. It's like the Four of Wands. It's like a safe, you got to create a safe place to do this, and be able to it's like they want to take you there because you've got the Chariot here and the Three of Cups. It's like, can you shift your energy into something that is really like excited, because that's what it's saying. It's like, get excited about the messages, because you're right, you're spot on with this intuitive feeling that someone wants to communicate with you, whether it's guides or anyone who's crossed over. There is a place where this can happen, and some people find it harder than others to go into meditation and be in this receptive state of being, because they doubt themselves and they doubt whether they can actually get to that place of serenity and safety and being in this like it's sort of like a child who's waiting for like their friend to come to the door. Another crystal, lavender or aragonite. Become a vehicle for the healing of the environment by opening yourself to higher vibrational energies. Do not participate in anything that despoils the planet or diminishes its resources. Work with your power animal and nourish your inner being. If your environment is unhealthy and disharmonious, it cannot support well-being. Transform it and well-being returns. It's asking you to shift something in your environment. Be comfortable in your own body and environment. You incarnated to be a guardian for the planet. You are a vehicle for purifying and healing the earth. So basically it's saying that pay attention to where you live within yourself. Do your inner housekeeping and nurture yourself. So there's adjustments that you need to make in your house and with your body so that you are completely, totally relaxed and comfortable and in a place like a little child waiting for their friend to come to the door. Like, the house is clean, I did what I was supposed to do, I took responsibility, and now I get my reward. That's what I'm getting. Or it could be that your guides are waiting for you to give you these messages, and there's a sense of excitement there. But it's definitely telling me that your environment is, you should be totally comfortable and relaxed to be able to explore this area and get rid of this doubt.